All right, welcome back in. Early signing day rolls on, special edition of Late Kick Live alongside Steve Wiltfong. I'm Josh Pate, but you know what? Why settle for two when we can make it a party of three? And it's a name we've been waiting on. We've been talking about all day long, and that is a highly touted recruit regardless of where you look. But there he is. I don't have to just mention him to you anymore. You can see him. That's Enai White. He's up. Enai, are you in Philadelphia right now, by the way? Are you in your hometown?
Yes, I'm in my high school, actually.
Okay, so you're at school right now. You've got a very, very important day at school. I would argue even more of an important day than everyone else there, all due respect. Before we get to commitment, I got to ask you, because this is a different answer for everyone, what has this process been like? And then the last 24 or 48 hours leading up to this, what's it been like for you?
This whole process has been a great learning experience. I got to meet some great legendary coaches. Got to learn from them. Like I said, it's just been like a good learning experience. That's all I can really say. It's a blessing to be in the position. But yeah, like I just love learning everything that I got to learn.
All right, brother, without further ado, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Enai White, where will you be spending your next 3 or 4 years?
I ain't even gonna say now. But for these next 3 or 4 years, I'll be attending the University of Texas A&M.
There it is. College Station is the destination. Enai White makes it official here. He's headed to Texas A&M, part of a historic recruiting class taking shape there for Texas A&M. So this was expected by a lot of people, but now that it's final, I can ask you, what was it about Texas A&M? There were some big programs involved with you throughout the recruitment, and this is ultimately where you end up. What was it that made you want to be an Aggie?
That family like Phil I got from Texas A&M. There's a lot of players that's down there that I know, but just going down there a lot of times, I took 3 visits. It's just like I got the family atmosphere. It remind me of my high school, so I just want to go there, win games, do what I got to do, and I'm proud to be an Aggie.
Hey, let me ask you this, because there are a lot of big-time names on that commitment list, as you well know. How much communication was there with the members of this class behind the scenes?
It was a lot of communication. Like some of us went on officials, like our first officials together, so that's where we like clicked off first. So it's been like a lot of communications from those first official visits up to now, so that's why we are together.
Enai, congratulations on your decision to play for Texas A&M. Talk about what makes Elijah Robinson such a special recruiter and your relationship with him.
That's my guy. He been recruiting me since he could, since like 10th grade. So we've been locked in ever since. He's from not too far from my area, so we kind of got like a similar background. So he's a good role model to look up to.
Enai White, congratulations, man. Wish you the best of luck in College Station. Hope to be seeing you on a field this time next year. Congratulations again, my man.
Appreciate it.
All right, Steve, so now we get to add that name, and as you see, the addition of one name, albeit a big one, that changes the 24/7 Sports team recruiting rankings. We have a new number 1. It is indeed the Texas A&M Aggies, sitting there just south of 320 overall points. So now that it's official, this class, well, it was already incredible. Now it just kind of borders on insanity.
What do you pay Elijah Robinson? He's a terrific defensive line coach. These guys are starting to be worth $1 million on the trail now too, right?
Sure.
And Elijah Robinson is in the mix to finish as 24/7 Sports National Recruiter of the Year. Jamil Adai's in the mix. Charles Kelly and Pete Golding are in the mix from Alabama as well. It's extremely competitive. And A&M's got a lot of great recruiters on their staff. But Elijah Robinson and what he's been able to do up front at the point of attack, and he's won some major recruiting battles over the years at Texas A&M. He continues to show he's one of the premier recruiters in America. And Enai White joins a class and at the point of attack that's just off the charts.
Here's what's fun about this A&M class. So you've got the headliners, but like those Alabama classes sometimes or Georgia classes, it's so deep that you and I both know there's going to be a guy. There's going to be like a Devontae Smith of this class where he's in the top half, but he's not the one that's on the marquee everywhere. He's not the one people are celebrating. You start to scroll, Steve, you got to go a long way down this commitment list before you even get out of that 4-star territory. And so outside of the obvious, when you scroll here, knowing pretty much every kid in the entire country, some names that stand out that you think may be on the radar more nationally in a couple of years?
Well, the one thing we really haven't talked about with this class, and they still have to get it all the way home, is Chris Marshall is the number 4 receiver in the top 247. His LOI is in. And Evan Stewart is the number 1 receiver in the country. His LOI is not in yet. But to have the nation's number 1 and number 4 receiver coming in, arguably the top quarterback in the country, and Connor Wigman, he's the number 2 quarterback in America per the 24/7 Sports Composite, along with this terrific defense. Bryce Anderson at safety, he's one of the more athletic guys on the back end you're going to find. I mean, this class is of championship caliber. Never mind the fact that Jake Johnson, arguably the number 1 tight end in this class, committed, making this the best tight end class overall. They have 3 good ones in the fold now, 3 4-stars. Le'Veon Moss was one of the more coveted running backs of SEC schools to go into Louisiana and win out for him. He's a former Alabama commit. This class is obviously special.
If you missed our interview with Jimbo Fisher earlier, I would encourage you to go watch it. And there was a specific question that we got to ask him when he was touting how many difference makers there are in his class. And he said something, and I don't want it to be lost. When I asked him, are you looking at this class and thinking there are things I've wanted to do offensively that the personnel here has not allowed me to do so far? He sat there and flat out said, yeah, pretty much. I mean, there are things that maybe have had, from a play calling standpoint, my hands tied behind my back a little bit. But now that I've got guys that make you defend all 99 yards of the field, thinks he's got the best quarterback in the country, a number of dynamic pass catchers you talked about at the tight end position. Also, this is I'm not even talking about the defensive line. This is an insane class, but I'm very interested to see, because that's been the one. It's not a knock. It's maybe a mild criticism of Jimbo Fisher is they've had talent. People use that term blanketly, but yet they haven't lit up the scoreboard. Well, that was kind of his counter today. You know, you got to have the right kind of players. I don't think anyone looks at this class and thinks they're going to be in a shortage of those difference maker kind of offensive weapons from this point moving forward.
When there was rumors that Quinn Ewers was going to be in the portal in the middle of the year, I poked around and asked if A&M would have interest, and I was told, no, Jimbo loves Connor Wigman. That's his guy. He's not going to do anything to mess that up. Then he goes in the portal, and you see the report that it's Texas Tech, Texas A&M, and Texas. So I poke around again, and are you guys in this? No. A&M, Jimbo Fisher, and you interviewed him. You asked him about Connor Wigman. That's he thinks he's got the best quarterback in the country committed, and so that's the guy that he's bought into. He never pursued Quinn Ewers. Connor Wigman's been his guy.
So there you see. Now